to Seattle, our regularly programmed schedule. I'm Alicia, also known as AK47.
And I'm Liz, also known as Lizzie215.
And you can find me on Instagram as lupinehook. I think this is going to just be a retreat one.
Yes.
Let's report because I got minimal knitting done. Maybe 7 rows on my shawl.
On your knitting retreat.
On my knitting retreat. I had the best time. If I didn't, visually show it, I need to apologize for it's just a weird, you're not stressed because everything is planned, everything just needs to be executed, right? But your brain is just keeps running the scenario, right? So I think I just have things going on in the background and my face is showing it. I'm the robot that's doing some work right here. But oh my goodness. I would say great success.
Yes. Great success. It was so nice, at least for me, putting a lot of faces to names.
Yes.
Pictures
Yes.
that I see. Because I only met a couple of them.
Yep, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, a lot can change in 3 years. But yeah, everybody came in. The first day we did a road trip. Just Ryan and I. We went out to Leavenworth. Perfect weather. Perfect. We saw rain and snow over the passes. We went over all the passes because I couldn't decide which route to take. So we went in I-90, went over Snoqualmie Pass and Blewett Pass, and then we hung out in Leavenworth. I asked her if I could do a little detour to see if the climbing season is open, and it is. And I showed her the rushing river down Icicle Canyon Road, and then we headed back. We stayed hours, right? We were just kind of waiting to see when we were going to get hungry to have brats at a Bavarian town, which is the best thing they offer is Bavarian style brats. Neither one of us were hungry. We got hungry on the way home, so we took Stevens Pass home.
Did you stop at Zeke's?
No, it was closed.
Oh, okay.
And then, because we went on a Thursday, right? Those things are open late on days that people are actually traveling in.
Okay.
We got hungry in Duval.
Okay.
I told her Monroe might not be too tasty. Oh, we stopped at the little church.
Okay.
The tiny, tiny church. Tiny. I'm posting pictures. I'm almost as tall as the building is, right? And if I put my arms out to the side, I've got the dimensions of it. It had been vandalized recently, so the inside had a lot of vandalism. So it was really hard to get a picture on the inside without seeing some of the garbage that was going on inside. But it's been there over 30 years. It's been there ever since I started going skiing off Stevens. And it's the quaintest little thing. It has 6 mini pews and a little pulpit. And it's super cute. It's one of those, we used to stop at it when I was at high school, college age. We stopped on it every time we were on Highway 2. That was just the thing we do. Stop in, get some pictures, have a mock sermon of some sort, and then be on our way. But I haven't stopped there in the last 15 years. So it was kind of nice, a little nostalgia to do. And then we ate at this brew pub in Duval, and it was delicious.
Same one we've been at before?
I don't think so. I've never been in it before.
Oh, no, not you. Me and Janelle have eaten it. We had the brisket poutine. Yes, that is the same one.
So delicious. She looked at me and she's like, can we trust poutine? I was like, well, do you trust poutine where you're from? She's like, well, yeah, we have tasty poutine. I was like, no, we live closer to the border than you do, so this poutine's going to be better.
No,
so
Janelle and I inhaled that thing.
So good. She's like, you're right.
You went to
it's better.
What is it? You went to the Duval, it's like the Duval pub or something.
It's aptly named for its location.
Yeah.
So Duval is in the name. It was such a cute
Yes, I can't believe
establishment.
it. Janelle and I love that place, and one time we went.
Got some local cider from Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
She got what I think Atlas.
Yes, Atlas is good.
And I think it was blackberry cider. And then I got something very hoppy. You would have liked it. It was a hop cider.
Oh, hop ciders are so good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, if Liz was here. And I think it was pineapple. Pineapple hop cider. So look it up when you're out that way again. That's very close to Liz's house.
Well, not super close. It's like
2
half
towns
over. It's like half an hour away, but it's closer to me than most.
Yeah. I think the next time I go out to Tolt, I think I'm going to go into Duval for
that
for
one
eats.
Well, between that and then The other place we love is the bakery,
Yes, bread, grateful bread.
the Grateful Bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it was dark at that point. So we went in, got salads right away, like immediately. I thought, oh man, we're gonna eat quickly and get back on the road before the sun gets down. It was pitch dark when we left. So I got the risotto. I always order risotto if it's on a menu. I think it's from that whole Top Chef phenomenon. Like, they say risotto is going to get you kicked off of this thing. I always have to test the risotto. And it had mushrooms in it. Oh, so yeah, go there.
So a good first day.
If you guys are visiting and going to Tolt, you should go into Duval for some dining. So pitch dark, pouring on our way home. And poor thing, Ryan's like, this is the first time in a car with me, right? But I've been a local since, I was born in Washington, so I know how to drive in the conditions. And she's like, no, I'm fighting sleep, but you're on these roads and, really bad rain and no lights because the 203 and the 18 don't have lights on them. Oh my goodness. So I was just fine. And poor thing, she was probably stressed out the whole time. And so we spent the night at my parents' house so that we each had a bed. Because at my house, one of us would be sleeping on an inflatable mattress. And Sean's not going to give up his bed. So I was like, let's just go somewhere that has lots of beds, lots of bathrooms. We'll just duck out there. So the next morning we'd head out to pick up everyone else. 5 people that came were on the same flight from Chicago. So I just had to go one stop,
That's
pick
perfect,
them all up.
though.
Yeah. So we went in directly because I think some of them had been traveling since 11 o'clock the night before. They had already, that's when their boarding started. So I was thinking we need to get them caffeine and we got to get them food. So we went into Burie and we went to the Burie Press for coffee. So they got their precious looking coffees and we went right next door to the Australian meat pie place. I was like, this is going to be quick. It's like fast food, but I don't do fast food. So we're going to have a quick little bite. You can get mashed potatoes on top of this little meat pie that you can hold in your hand. Some of them got, some of them didn't. The people who didn't get potatoes are like, oh, what a regret. So they looked at my meat pie and it was covered. So they put one of those caps on to distribute it. So it looks like a frosting of mashed potatoes. And they're like, what did you put on your chicken pot pie? I was like, it's potato. So yeah, they're like, most of them said, oh man, should have done the potatoes. So that was great success. That was kind of my I'm gonna judge you kind of moment. If you don't like meat pies, you're gonna have to find your own way home. First meal, first test, and you all passed. So we went back to the house, dropped off everything, and then went out to Tolt. Tolt did not disappoint anyone.
How could it?
It's true. Okay, so Churchmouse gets a lot of hype internationally, right?
Well, they've been
Nationally,
around longer.
internationally. I'm telling you, Tolt is my favorite store out here. It's tops. They do something a little bit different than you'll probably see at other stores. They do everything by brand. So you'll get all yarn on the house, and the different weights of yarn is listed in their title. And then you'll get all Quince & Co. and then all their bases, and then the one after the other. You find the whole brand in one location. So you can go in knowing, I want a sweater's quantity of yarn on the house, and just stare at all of them, and you could get your fingering weight, your worsted weight, or, DK, whatever you're looking for. But that is very different from many of the other stores that go by weight, right? You just go into the section that's all DK and then pick from there, right? So you kind of have to have a different mindset when you go into Tolt. I have a lot of, what is it called? It's a fingering weight from Scotland. Can't think of them. But they're 50-gram skeins. I don't know. Maybe I'll think of it. Anyway, I have a lot of colors, but I don't have the plain color that you're supposed to have
to bind them
so
all
that
together.
you can do color work.
All
Right?
right.
This is the thing I fail at, is the
The
muted
neutrals,
colors.
getting the neutrals.
Yeah. So I got a neutral at Tolt, and that's Fionnuala yarn, and it is a fingering weight Rauma. I don't know. I think Rauma might be the base. I don't know. It's 100% Norsk wool. So is that Norwegian wool? Would you say?
Norse wool. Sure, let's go with Norwegian.
So I'm thinking it's in a different language. But I don't know.
Yeah, let's go
So
with.
I'm gonna say Norway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Norway too.
It's got a nice bite to it, so yeah, I think it's gonna do
Norway
really well.
based off the
location.
No,
Okay.
it's Norway.
Yeah, so Norwegian wool. It's fingering, and I got how much yards? 175 meters. So this should make a few hats, colorwork hats, when I insert the other colors. So I thought I could do that. I could do something rustic that will go with something from my stash.
Yeah.
That's how I justified this purchase. Because I'm really good at just adding to my stash, right? This one had to have a purpose. Everybody loved it. I think we funded their day just with the 8 of us. They let us go behind the counter and get a group shot with all our findings, like all our bags in the picture. It went really. I think we were there for 2 hours. And that was when I was seeing just the group started to meld already, right? So Bindu and Annette came together, and then Lindsay, Kim, and Annetta came together. And at that point, you saw them cross over, right? So Annetta was helping Annette pick out colorways, and that's usually Bindu's job. Well, Bindu was too busy because she was helping Ryan and Lindsay pick out their colorways for something else. It was beautiful. Like, just from the start, people just melded together right away. And it was nice to see, because you could have a click right away, right? That we're going to stay with our own, and we're going to shop the way we normally shop. This was it was awesome. It's like the group just let everything melt away, and everybody was just hanging out, and it was awesome. So from there, we went to a coffee shop. We just walked to Sandy's. So we went a couple doors down, went across the street to Sandy's Espresso, and everybody got their coffee or whatever indulgence they needed. And it looks really small. Well, it turns out there's an upstairs. We went upstairs, and there was a table that seated 8. And so we just, all 7 of us sat around, and we knit for another 2 hours and just, like, hunkered down, right? Because some people, they're coming down from travel. They've been traveling for the last 12 hours, and we just commuted out to BFE outside of Seattle, got their shop on. We were probably under some yarn fumes, right? So I got everybody just to mellow out a little bit, get into the knitting. At that point, I was still secret knitting. So thankfully nobody asked until then. What are you knitting on, Leash? I was like, nothing. You just keep doing what you're doing. So it was really good. I was a little behind on the knitting just because the days before, some extra things happened. Like at that coffee stop that we had, I said, okay, this is probably about the time I need to tell you that we're kind of on a schedule because we're having a private trunk show at the house later on tonight, which was just being finalized in the last couple days before they came. And so they squeed, we got excited about it, and then we hit the road. So we went out to Snoqualmie Falls because I figured it's an easy walk. Right away you see the falls. You can go down closer to the falls if you go on the hike.
But it's not required.
It's not required. And all the verbiage is up at the end of the first walk out to the viewing protected area. You could feel the thunder of the water. This is how you're close, but you're close to the top of it. You're not close to the bottom of it, right? And you can feel the mist coming up off of the water. It's a huge waterfall. but you're getting misted.
Especially
from the base
now
of it.
after the monsoon April we've been having.
We have had rain like nobody's business. It was great because I know there was not a need to do the hike, right? I don't think anybody felt like doing a hike right then.
No.
But it was an easy little walk. There's a bunch of history to learn along the way. There's a pedestrian cross that you cross over the street, over a pedestrian walkway that's lined with old photos from like 1912 to 1927 or something, old photos. And you see women in their, Sunday best, with the long skirts with the big belt and the long sleeve white shirts with the little choker. You know what styles I'm talking about. So we went out to there, saw the waterfall, chilled out a little bit, and then we headed back to the city. Metropolitan Market is kind of a hoity-toity grocery store, and they make food on premise.
Think of it as most people, a Whole Foods. It's kind of like a Whole Foods, but it's not all organic. They sell normal brands too.
They do. And they have Asian cuisine. They have
they have a
roasted chicken.
They have a pizza.
Yeah, they have a pizza oven kiln, the pottery kind. They have paninis. They have everything you can think of. Sushi bar, poke, soup, salad, everything. You could get 7 different types of cuisine in one stop.
Yeah.
And it's freshly made right there. Most of it is freshly made. Like the soup is in a warmer, right? And some of the sandwiches are pre-made that they can warm up panini style too. Pot pies, brisket.
Basically, everything. There's something for everyone.
Mm-hmm. It was so good that first night that they opted to go there again the second night rather than go find a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And it was perfect because you could get whatever your hearts could desire. And it was great. So the first night we had the trunk show, and you came over earlier than the trunk show, you and Janelle.
Yes, I missed out on all the earlier adventures because I had to work, and actually no, I didn't have to. Yes, I had to work part of the day. Right? Yeah, and then my daughter had a play date and stuff that she really wanted to go to because it was my kid's spring break. And so, yeah, I made it over for the trunk show, which was awesome. I got to meet everyone finally.
Sarah from Seattle Sky Dyeworks joined us. Let's see, do I have her logo somewhere? I should, yeah. Sarah joined us, and she brought a carload of stuff. She had bins that were long drawers full of stitch markers.
Yeah. And
there must have been 6 of them. And we just passed these huge bins of stitch markers. I don't think anybody didn't find something they were looking for. Right? She made the group. So we started out, and she was setting up yarn and setting up her stuff. Did anybody get a picture of that?
No.
I have to ask Sarah if she got the picture.
I think Sarah took a picture.
But she made everybody a Lupine stitch marker out of chainmail and beads. So it probably would look like Lupine if I went that way, right? But it doesn't tingle that way. But yeah, gorgeous. And then a set of stitch markers with purple and green. Green for Emerald City, and purple is our favorite color because both of us will say purple is our thing. And it was so sweet of her to come out, made her trunk show. I decided to get mushrooms. I tried to find are those called mascara, the red ones? But she didn't have any red ones, so the closest one was brown. So I got those. Goes up to size 9. And then I got something for the O-Loops. Harry Potter for this year. When we do that swap, I decided to buy a set of stitch markers that are Harry Potter. So we've got Harry Potter's glasses. We got a castle for Hogwarts. Lightning bolt for the scar. Got an inkwell. with a feather in it. Got a book. We got the bus. That's a big one. I think that one's the Progress Keeper. And then the rest of these are stitch markers. We got a Patronus and a hat, the sorting hat. And I think there's a broom in there too. An owl. I don't know what the octopus signifies. Do you know what the octopus signifies?
Nope.
Yeah, all these icons from Harry Potter. So whoever's going to be my partner, you're getting that for sure. Are you going to do the partner swap again this coming year?
I think so. I enjoyed it last time.
So that evening ended with Sarah hanging out for a good long bit. And just some knitting. I didn't knit that night. I couldn't get in the right mind space. Did you knit when you were over?
Yeah, I just worked on a Mania #1 sweater. It's all stockinette in the round, yes. so I mean, I don't really need a mindset.
That's true. It's so true. Yeah, there was a lot of sweater knitting going on.
There was a lot of sweater knitting going on. Did you buy any yarn from Sarah? Or just
I did. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, is yours closer?
Yes.
Mine's probably under all this stuff.
Not only did I buy yarn, I bought a kit basically from Sarah. This doesn't say anything.
Is it worsted weight?
This is the Elwha cowl. And she had samples there, and it's absolutely beautiful.
It's like chevrons.
It's chevron,
right?
yeah. And she had little kits, and so I like this kit. It has a gray, a green, and a brown. And yeah, I'm looking forward to knitting this cowl.
I think she said it was simple stitches, right?
Yeah, it's simple stitches, nothing too hard.
It's not brioche, but it looks like ribbed.
It looks
chevrons.
ribbed, yes. So I'm excited. I probably won't knit it till the fall because the cowl season's almost ending, and I've got lots of stuff to do.
Mm-hmm. What colorways did you get? Does it say?
It doesn't say. These are just
a green, a brown, and a gray. It looks like.
Yeah, a gray, blue, and then a green and a brown.
That's really pretty. Mm-hmm. And that'll knit up fast because they look like partial skeins.
Yeah, they're partial skeins. I mean, it's a kit made for her design, and you can buy the pattern off of Ravelry.
Okay. I got her base mismated. 70% superwash, 30% silk, and I think she said this is a sport weight. So I got 2 skeins of that sport weight. There's a purple in that blue. Can you see that? I think they went together really well. So it's probably going to be a 2-colored something. And the green is called Poison Apple, and the blue is called Iris. I'm really stoked about those 2 colors.
Do you know what you're going to make with it?
No. But it's got silk in it, so it's not going to be a sweater of any kind.
No, right? It's a shawl.
A 2-colored shawl. There we go.
Yeah. Or you can add in a 3rd color, but
yeah. But they play nicely together.
They do.
I'm really excited about
They're definitely your colors.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so that was Thursday. On Friday, we woke up and went out to Churchmouse. So we got to the ferry. We were like 13 minutes from the ferry. That's how close this house that we rented was. And I lived in West Seattle, so I kind of knew, time frames of when things were could go. So at Churchmouse, I decided on the same theme. They had a hat there, and I'm probably showing it to you now. Fingering weight, and the main color is tweed. I've never thought to do tweed in a color work hat. It just never even dawned on me. It was so beautiful. So I picked up another natural skein. This one's a little bit grayer. That one was a cream, and this is more of a gray. And the flecks in there are white on the tweed. And that's Rowan. I've never bought Rowan before.
I don't know.
Do you have Rowan in your stash?
Probably.
The only places you can get Rowan here is apparently Churchmouse and the one Fiber Gallery.
Then probably I don't have Rowan then. Unless I ordered it online. No, it's not something I would have ordered online.
It's not something I would order online. So I was happy to see this. It has 207 meters, 226 yards. It's 50 grams of Valley Tweed by Rowan. And it's got a little Union Jack on it, so I'm guessing it's from Britain. made in Britain. So I got Norway and Britain on my travels here in Seattle. I didn't get anything local except for when Sarah came over and I got local yarn from her. That's not a bad thing though, right? No. Everybody else went for local stuff, which was cool. Let's see. What else did we do Friday?
So Friday after Churchmouse, then you guys came back.
Oh, we went to Pike Place.
Pike Place Market, you guys.
Pike Place Market. And we did a really fast stop. We got princess parking.
Nice.
Everywhere we went, it seemed we got princess parking. I don't know if you guys use this term. When you're parked right out in front of where you want it to be.
We call it princess parking.
That's princess parking. So we were right at the middle door to get into Pike's Place. So we went in and decided, you know, before we get separated and we worry about this, how about we pick a location? We'll meet here in an hour under this lit up fish, right? So we dispersed. 4 of us went one way, 3 went the other, and then we all pooled together and went to the spice place after we did our roaming.
World Market Spice.
Yeah, World Market. Or
isn't it World Market Spice?
Market Spice.
Market Spice.
Yeah. That was a perfect stop. People were like, why would we want to go in here? And then everybody purchases. So like, oh, tea and spices and you name it. They had it, and everything smells so good. So you can get loose leaf tea there. Some of their teas have sachets. A lot of it is containers, right? So they have the tea thermoses that have a steep.
The steeper,
Yeah, it's a great little shop. Saw some fish being thrown because that's what you do at Pike Place.
That's what you do at Pike Place. Take a picture of the pig.
There is a pig there. My favorite pig is down at the base of the stairs, but it was pouring. We had spring weather, like spring effects happened.
No, this is worse than spring weather. This is like monsoon.
This is all the spring weather in 4 days.
Yes.
They just heard we were having this get together and thought, we don't want more people moving here, so let's have some really crappy weather. Done. It happened. And then after Pike Place, they even were like, oh, isn't this where the original Starbucks? The original Starbucks had a line out the door. Of course,
because it's the original Starbucks.
50 feet deep. But they're probably just going in to order a coffee, right? So funny. So there was a Starbucks across the street, and somebody needed one of those "You Are Here" mugs.
Yes.
I was like, let's just do the one kitty corner over here. Just
not the original Starbucks.
If you need to say it's from the original Starbucks. No
just
one's
take a
gonna
picture
know.
outside in the front where the lady still has her boobies showing and call it good.
Exactly, the old logo.
Yeah, the old logo.
Yeah. Oh man, politically correctness happened with that Starbucks logo. Because we did that, and then I think they said they wanted to do dinner at Metropolitan Market again. Even though, you know, we were steps from really good, but everything's really steep there.
Yeah, if you're not used to walking.
Yeah, and so I thought it was wet, cobblestone. They even thought about going to Cowl's, and I thought, you know, this is going to be the one time that I slip, and if I think I'm going to slip, one of you guys are going to go down too, and I can't have that on my conscience, because that is a steep grade.
Yeah, it is.
Like, just to turn off of the post alley, like, halfway up a block.
Yeah.
And it's cobblestone.
Once you're on the street Kells is on, it's not bad, but to
fine.
get to the street, that's a steep one.
Yeah, it was bad. So I was like, you know what, let's rethink this mission, and we'll find another pub. Stoked. We went to Pacific Fabric. That fabric store is by color, right? So it's intense. I found some scraps because I'm doing paper piecing, right? So I can get pretty far with scraps. This one has umbrellas on it. There's one single gold umbrella in there.
That's
so this is going to be a roof on one of my houses because I don't have a lot of black. And then I found mushrooms. The mascara mushrooms I mentioned before. There's a couple in there. That guy. And then I got one that has a bunch of Seattle locations on it. There's Apples, Roosevelt, Walla Walla, North Cascades, so all Seattle like landmark and cities in there. I think that'll pair well with that Seattle themed fabric I got. When it gets down to scraps, I'll have another scrap that goes with it. And then I got a new pattern.
Look at you moving
Surprise,
on in the
surprise.
world.
So this isn't paper piecing, but I didn't like any other paper piecing stuff. But this woman, Elizabeth Hartman, I've been following on Instagram lately. And this is the one that I really like. My mom is really into pineapples. Pineapples is a theme in her kitchen. And pretty much her house.
She could make a pineapple quilt.
Right. Well, I'm thinking of making her a little something and then giving her the pattern, right? So she wants to make something bigger. I'm thinking of making like a pillow.
Oh, that'd be cute.
And the pillow says a 20-inch by 20-inch is 3 blocks. And a lap quilt is 40 blocks. A picnic quilt. Didn't know that was a dimension that everybody knows. Does everybody know a picnic quilt? Is 60 blocks of this. And I don't know what the pattern repeat is because
I think it's just pineapple.
I'm wondering if it's right. 4 pineapples make a block, maybe? I don't know. Because that seems like that's more than 60 pineapples, right?
Yeah.
For a picnic blanket. Yeah, so we'll see. It looks like I would need 3 fat 8s. Only knew that there was fat quarters. Did you know there was fat 8s?
Dude, I know nothing.
Who knew? I know nothing. I'm new at this, guys. But that's my next thing that I want to jump into. Just go big or go home, guys. That's what it's all about. I'm looking at my pile to see what I've forgotten. I'm sorry, this has been all over the place. Working off of not enough sleep and then too much sleep is what happened to me. And so we went back. And what did we do Friday? Oh, we did the swap.
Yeah, we did
yarn
the
swap.
yarn
What
swap.
did you think of having a game out of a yarn swap?
I'm not a game person. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Everybody else loved it.
Yeah.
Liz just lived through it.
Liz survived it. Okay, let's go with that.
We took a 20-sided die and we made a list of 20 things. I think there was actually like 5
with
unique,
repeats.
yeah, 5 unique chores you would have to do. So pass to the right, pass to the left, toss it to the person across from me.
Pass 2 to the right.
Pass 2 and 2. Choose. Take from somebody who had too many. So that was one was Robin Hood. Take from the rich and give to the poor. Did that because I think total between the 8 of us that were playing, I think we had 14 or 15 skeins going around, right? So it was I had fun with it because it wasn't a let's just draw a name and we're done, right? This was more interactive, and at the end, when everybody was settled, we did some bartering and some trading. We had one rule that was knit 10 rows on my sock, or 10 stitches on my sock and pass to the next person. And some of those freebie, you make your own rule never came up in...
No, that's like the die didn't want it.
Yeah, the die
I
was...
think I would have liked it more if more people had made up their own rule.
Yeah. So next time I set up that game, I think I will have it go to new rule more often or knit on my project more often. And then I was trying to finish a sock.
A test sock.
A test sock that nobody saw. So she was getting so fed up with the finish of the ribbing. She's like, somebody else knit on it. And so we passed it around. It was good fun.
So I ended up with one called Electric Rainbow, which I'm pretty sure is going to be...
That's going to be a minion number 1 sock.
Or sorry, Radioactive Rainbow. And it's by Rock and String Creations. And it's a dyer out of Kentucky. And
people brought their local goods.
Yeah.
This is bright. Like, I don't think
bright.
that's showing. If it's looking kind of muted, it's not showing what it really is.
It is bright. And so, yes, I believe this will be something for minion number 1.
Awesome. I got a Lupine colorway. I was so excited. This is the exact Lupine, and maybe I've got a picture that I'm going to float up in your worlds to show you that this was the original Lupine that was in my yard when we made a garden at our house when we had one. But this is Knit Picks Chroma. Now, the chroma that we have is the single ply, and this is plied. So this is going to be a little bit different for me, but I think it's still going to be gradient all the way through, and it's pinks and purples, which is really cool. And I love that they thought, oh, forget the rules. This one has Lupine in the name. I'm bringing it. And so I'm really glad you did. This is really awesome. It's uncanny how close to the original Lupine in my yard it is. Let's see, what else am I holding here? Oh, did you bring your stuff? Oh, you didn't have to. I have one
We
from
have
everybody.
the same things.
So I was contacted when we first decided that we were going to do this retreat. They said, do you need us to do anything? Is there anything that we can do for the group? And I said, oh, I don't know. She said, and Annetta says, no, Kim sews, and she's thinking of a bag. Can we make a bag? And I said, yeah, you can make a bag. I can't make a bag. I'm just learning to sew. So they made a bag for everybody in the group, and we decided that emerald green for the Emerald City was the way to go, right? Because Seattle, Emerald City. So this is a really dark green, and they have their coordinating skein is a floral. It almost looks like olives, right? And so that's the interior, is the olives out to the front, and it's a drawstring. And look at that ribbon, it has little arrows on it. We're looping about that direction. And it's a drawstring with a really nice bright green too to go along with that. Well, they weren't done. They okayed that with me. What I didn't know was Kim's daughter-in-law had found something to iron on, and they've hearted Seattle on the Washington State. What's so funny? Annette was looking at that emblem saying, oh, that's cool. I wonder what that is. And then it came up again when Chanel had found another, like, what is this,
Cute
muslin
yeah,
bag? And it has the state of Washington with Seattle marked. She goes to Bindu and she says, am I supposed to know what that is? Like, is that where we are? Is that Seattle? She's like, no, that's Washington State that we're looking at, and Seattle's the marker. So she immediately put socks in this bag and was knitting from it. So cute. She's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that's what Washington looked like. So for those that don't know what Washington State looks like, that's our state. And its border at the bottom is the Columbia River. And then Idaho's on that side, Oregon's below us. And we are the top left-hand corner of the United States. Well, the continental United States. Alaska's up here.
Don't get mad at us, any Alaskans.
Yeah. Alaska's connected to the BCs. It's not actually connected to the United States. Let's see, what else came? Kim made more things. So that was Kim, Annetta, and Lindsay made that. And another one of her daughter-in-laws that I don't know her name. Found the Washington State thing. You know this well. What is this?
Pillowcase.
That your daughter has absconded with?
Yes, my daughter is, so Kim made us traveling pillowcases and then provided us with a little traveling pillow. So I knew the minute I saw this that my minion number one was going to abscond with it.
Did you get the yarn balls or did you get the sheep?
I got the sheep because I thought the sheep was, more cuter for a little girl. Because I knew again it was gonna be, and sure enough, I get home,
Mine. What did she get me?
What is that? Is that for me?
That's a loaded question. That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, that's a rhetorical question.
When you meet her daughter.
So yes, and let's just say it's her snuggle pillow. It's her watching TV pillow on the couch. It is her everything pillow right now.
Lindsay Ann made this. It holds tea. It's like a tea wallet. Love it. It's like, I need something with purple. And she's like, the lining of this one's purple. So you just stuff in more tea sachets in here and you're ready to go. It's your travel tea.
Travel tea. I love that.
Love this. I'm excited to fill it up. Because I go out to my parents' house once a week to go sewing. And I think I'm going to start bringing my own tea sachets. Kind of bored with theirs, so I can bring my own. What else was given to the group? Oh, stitch markers.
Yes, stitch markers.
We got stitch markers from Ryan. I'm trying to separate them so you can. The umbrella one is the best. You see the umbrella? And then a yarn skein. And a teacup at the top. Wine glass at the bottom. 2018 for the looping about 2018-ness. I think
Did you say 2018?
The 2018-ness and the yarn skein is actually got more detail on the other side. So yeah, I thought that was adorable. She handmade all of these. And they have little beads on them. One of them is the big yarn one is a Progress Keeper.
And Annette brought soap.
Annette brought soap, and I was using mine already at the house. It was rosemary and lavender. The next morning, she's like, "Did somebody start their soap already?" I said, I did. I wanted to use it right now, right here. And I have the smallest sliver left. I put it for like hand washing, and then I used it in the shower when it was my turn to shower. Yeah, there was candies and teas from Bindu. Oh my goodness.
And bourbon chocolates.
Oh yeah, Annetta brought bourbon balls. Oh my gosh, those were
so good. I am my favorite.
I had no idea.
Buffalo Trace one.
Buffalo Trace. She's like, well, I found all these, but they said that they don't fit in the boxes, so they're giving me a discount on them. But they're going to be easier to travel with without boxes. I said, yeah, and who needs a box to fit on it?
Yeah. No, these things were like crack. So good. Yeah.
There was a load of them left, and I told the Illinois contingency to take it because I couldn't eat that much. So I brought a few home, and that was it. I was like, the rest, you guys need to split amongst yourself, because I would just eat that for a meal. It was so good.
They were so good.
It's like a nugget. A nougat?
Nougat, yeah. A bourbon nougat inside.
And then it had a little pecan on top, so and it was all chocolate covered. So delicious. Speaking of chocolate, we went out to Theo Chocolate on Saturday.
That was your Saturday activity.
Oh, after KEXP, so we went to the radio station. So we got there. The clock in my parents' car is 10 minutes fast, and I always forget this. So I'm thinking I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. So we were getting close to KEXP, and we were trying to get there before it opened so that we could snag a good sitting area for 7 people. And I'm thinking, oh, after parking, we haven't made it. So I was like, let's just go to Cherry Street for coffee and breakfast. So I park. Cherry Street doesn't open until 8, and that's 8 o'clock. We were trying to get to KEXP, right? I was like, what do you mean? The clock in the car says we're 4 minutes out, because it was 10 minutes fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we could have just gone to the radio station. What's done is done. It's all good. But yeah, it fooled me once. It fooled me all weekend that we were late for everything. But that was good, because that meant it was just a one-way walk to the radio station, right? Rather than being at the radio station, going out to Cherry Street and having to come back, right? So we moseyed past the Space Needle, past the Chihuly exhibit, past the IMAX and the Kids Museum, the Kids Science Center. Went past the Armory and the fountain. The fountain wasn't even on. That's how early we were. I was like, usually this thing is going and it's shooting water everywhere and it's got music associated with it. So we moseyed, slow walked, got to KEXP, kind of encouraged some people to leave a seating area so that the 7 of us could share it. And then Sean eventually made it, so we got more coffee, little espressos, right? Because at that time, we've had a lot of coffee at this point. And then Sean showed up. We talked story for a little bit, just in the public space. And then he did a tour, and it was just super mellow. The DJ gave everybody a wave because he and Sean are pretty close. Sean had a shout out on the radio while we were there. It was really fun. Sad news, the Nitro cold brew was broken. And that was going to be the highlight of that trip. I mean, besides all the rest, the highlight of a radio station. We got to sit in the live recording area, and a couple people who played piano played on the piano and got their, shot with the KEXP sign and everything while they were playing. In that room, all the lights, it's like a string of lights, and every 2 feet there's a light. It's not a bulb, but a ball that goes all the way down. And it's lined like a curtain all the way around this room. Well, it turns out you can program each one of those balls to do certain things throughout a performance. There was one guy who loved purple, so anytime he moved within the room, the colors behind him were purple, and it sensed his location. Like this is some state-of-the-art lighting that they have in there, and so that was interesting. It was all red when we were there, but yeah, we got into recording booths and master sound places and the mastering suite and any place you wanted to go. Sean was showing you. We went into the library, and there's still a lot of vinyl in there, and then there's a lot of CDs, but on all the vinyl albums you can pull them out and you can see there's notes from and to different DJs for when you're going to play things, or if something's censored, track 5, watch out for 2 minutes in kind of thing. So it was really fun just to see the smaller details of the radio station, and I thought it was really fun to share that with everybody. This new space is brand new as in the last 2 years. I think the public space is the size of what the full radio station was before they moved to this new space. So they've had room to grow. They have a lot of things on display that are historical. We've got prints, pictures back there, and like all the areas where only the employees can hang out. They've done some really beautiful pieces of work that surround the workers, which is really cool. After that, went to Theo Chocolate. Theo Chocolate is a free trade and highest standard of organic chocolate factory, and they had a really nice tour. The woman was super informative. She was a history major at the University of Washington, and she's focused her studies on cocoa. So we learned all about cocoa and what periods of time things were happening in the first chocolate bar. The first chocolate bar was introduced late 1800s. They're young comparatively to things, right? The cocoa bean has been around forever, but it was Europeans that added milk and sugar to the cocoa to make chocolate. It was pretty fascinating. They say they take the final product back to their workers at the cocoa bean plantations, and they're like, no, this doesn't even taste good. This isn't cocoa, right? We like the bitter straight from its original form. That's chocolate to us. They're like, no, this isn't the same. I don't want what you're selling. So it was really cool to just hear the process and the communities that they're growing everywhere, right? They have no intentions of leaving Seattle, so that's cool. They really like their space. Their space has grown leaps and bounds, and they're coming near to filling their space with the machines and all the good stuff. But yeah, they're not looking to grow too much further, so that's nice. They're not a mainstream chocolate tier, but you can get them at Whole Foods across the nation, and I think some other like natural food stores you can find their label. So this is their logo if you're looking for it. And Theo is the first part of the scientific name for the cocoa bean. So that's where they got their name. I'm going to try something new. This one's called Root Beer Barrel. I never thought to pair dark chocolate with root beer, so I'm interested. A lot of their flavorings is from essential oils. So this is essential oils of root beer that were added to the chocolate.
You mean sarsaparilla?
Yes. Yes, exactly. And then my favorite thing. So back when Sean wanted to start talking to me, or you could call it dating, I sent him on a scavenger hunt for Seattle. And this is what I always had in a care package from Sean, is this Big Daddy. Because at the time I was living in New Orleans and he was here in Seattle. So I sent him on the scavenger hunt, and 2 things always ended up in a care package for me. It was this and Thomas Kemper root beer, because I couldn't get Thomas Kemper root beer out there. So yeah, this is their take on a s'more. Chocolate, marshmallow, graham cracker, and caramel all in there. And that is how they describe it. So tasty. And they love this term, enrobed. Anything they have that's covered in chocolate, enrobed in chocolate. So they're known for their bars. You can get their bars pretty much anywhere, but this is one of their confectionaries, and so you can't get this anywhere but their store. So you'd have to order it online. But yeah, everybody had when taking the tour, you get 20% off in their chocolate factory. So yeah, we got a good deal on chocolate, and I think some people had to make some room for chocolate on their way home. But it was good. Most things are bars and they're skinny and long, so that was easy to pack. We didn't make it to the troll, so we have a request for us to go out to the troll and stick this wand up his nose. So we're gonna do that. Keep you posted as to when we do that. Kim made this wand, and in the end she found a stitch that was falling, so there's some floss on there to keep that intact. So I'm gonna try to string that up the middle. But this was confused to be something else for a very long time. I packed it in my bag to come home, and it was just sticking out my pack. I was getting some weird looks. But it's cabled all the way up. God, you put some work into this, Kim, so we're going to get that picture for you.
Yes, we will.
So fun. Right. Oh, we had one more stop. We found these enamel pins. Oh, my goodness. 0 fox given. So this is for Sean. There's another one that said, whale shit. But you had to say it like that because it just said whale shit, right?
Yeah.
It had a whale on it.
A whale, yeah.
Whale shit. Lindsay, that was a regret that she didn't pick that one up. Because I was like, it goes with your guys' accents. So that is West Park Creative. It's right at the bottom. .com. And they have a lot of animal pins. And I think there was a Bob Ross pin, too, that says, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. That was a really cute pin. So if you guys are enamel pin fanatics, you should probably check these guys out because they had a lot of funny things. But yeah, 0 fox given is something right up Sean's alley. Oh, and Annetta brought him a pin because Sean loves sloths. She found the cutest sloth pin, and he put it right on his backpack. It's upstairs. Didn't fall off, so I'm going to put one of these locking ones on it. But yeah, he was so excited. He's like, for me? And then Ryan brought him yarn as a thank you for his efforts in the tours and stuff. Gosh, he made out like a bandit. This is Camel City Dyeworks. Hushed Tones Mini. Dirty Bird. I think it starts up here. Dirty Bird, Straw Man, Easter Lilies, S'mores, and Drunken Rainbow are the colorways. So he's getting socks out of that. He's already told me. So we just have to find out which one it is. And sent me this guy home. Eggplant is the colorways. It's a gradient set of purple. You guys getting that? It's from her hometown, Dirty Water Dyeworks. She's from Boston area. So yeah, this is East Coast yarn. It's super exciting. 6 skeins, each weighing 12 grams. That's a good amount. 72 grams total. It goes from every shade of purple. It's like she knows. So that's probably gonna be paired with a neutral of some sort. I thought it paired really well with this guy. Right? What? Pick up the purple and the turquoise. It's a good idea too. So I might pair that. We did not get much done. Annetta and I have started doing paper piecing, and this is one of the tools that you use in paper piecing. It's called Add a 1/4 inch. It has a bump in it that catches on the paper. So all you have to do is slide it up to the paper, and then it keeps the 1/4 inch, and you just cut across that line, right? So you don't have to stare at it, hope it's straight, and you're getting your 1/4 inch seam. Does the magic for you. So excited to use that. I will let you know when I start using that, Annetta, because I'm really stoked. Do you have anything else to show?
Nope.
Looks like you're working on a hexagon.
I did. I finished one.
Yay! She finished last week's.
Yeah, from the week I was sick. We did
that's
tapes
from
last
Lindsay.
week. That's from Lindsay. And then now I'm working on this week. So I'm all caught up now. I'm all good. And yeah, that's about it. Just chugging along on Minion #1 sweater and my baby blanket.
They haven't seen Minion #1 sweater.
No.
So we'll have to show that to you guys next time.
Yeah, I'll show it next time.
But thank you for letting us share our retreat with you. If you guys want to do this again, it sounds like we might be in Kentucky. Yeah, it's a really fun group.
Be next year.
Yeah, and so until we knit again, and hopefully I'll be knitting the next time we do this.